Oh boy. Well, I mean, on one hand, bye week's going back to what got them here. On the other hand, you're running quad tank on Ruins.
Hey, let my boy Sheershoy Rhine, okay? We got to see him having a pretty good Rhine experience last week. I mean, they didn't get a win, they didn't get a map win, but they were close to getting a map win up against Fusion University, and it was off the back of Sheershoy's Reinhardt, but now
if
they're going in.
If Reinhardt on a board game, it'd be this Reinhardt up 4 squares higher than you would ever expect it to be. But hey, why not?
All right, so that's going to mean Lifa will be on the Winston, Minish picking up the Roadhog, and Waifu is on, of course, the Diva, now NRG Esports. They're playing the Standard, as Standard is here on Ruins of Ilios. You've got Stratus on the Sombra, who's got the Mega Health Pack control, and the dive comes out. Poise was just way too far ahead on that Widowmaker.
Poise, first one to fall here early on in the quad tank of bye week. Throwing NRG for a loop, and normally you'd be able to outflank it here, get good mileage off the Widowmaker, but Poise was first to fall. It was a nice engage from bye week, limited mobility as it were, where it was mostly just Winston making it happen with Waifu, and that was enough.
Yeah, and with other maps where you do run that quad tank or triple tank and there could be possibly a Widowmaker, usually there's also a Mercy involved, so you're able to get a lot of damage off onto tanks, but without that Mercy, they're only relying upon Rob. Ooh, Poise, once again, the first one to fall in this team fight.
It's been a rough opening for Poise here. Well, put it simply, NRG gonna have to do the rest of this 5-on-6. Self-destruct in the air, they boom finish off. The self-destruct, not in a bad spot at all. Doesn't get the kills, but still keeps bye week a little bit off of it. NRG working what they got. Poise is gonna be back in the fight, but with Rob getting isolated, I'm not sure they can really stay in it.
I'm surprised. Maybe try to go for a Reaper or a Roadhog yourself on the NRG squad. Instead, they're going to stick with this, and why not? Stratus is getting close to that EMP, and those tanks, all of these tanks rely heavily upon all their stuff, but take a look at that. Earth Shatter connects. Poise is the first one to fall again.
Poise getting really well acquainted with that spawn room right now. The NRG spawn room, as it were. NRG trying to fight this back. Butcher with the late power lines, and Waifu lays down the hammer, metaphorically. The self-destruct takes down 2. Oh my word. I guess this is what happens when you lose an OWL level DPS.
All right, though, Poise was able to finally answer back. Able to take out Sheershoy. I mean, we joke around how like Sombra just doesn't allow you to play the game. Right now, Bioweek are trying the best to make sure Poise can't play his game, but there we go. He's finally opening it up. He already got the first frag, got the DMEC, picks up 2 more. Poise is now coming back with a vengeance.
All right, Poise, you need to do that like 3 more times to undo how this map began, but I'm listening, I'm watching. Show us what you got. And bye week, though, in a very good spot. All they need is one more fight here, Jamerson, to get this round.
And they're making swap-offs. They want to have some extra oomph there. So Lifa, he was on the Tracer before, but instead, he's feeling that Widowmaker. We'll see if Butcher or Smex can try and shut him down now. Minish pushing forward. He's got that whole hog ready. Hook does not connect. Now he's going to try a different angle, but he doesn't want to try and walk up onto his Zenyatta. Instead, Speed Boost is there. He gets booped off the high ground.
Leffa on the Widow in the back, has to deal with Poise as Poise socks him in the mouth. The melee kill coming in. Now they did lose Rob on the other end, but Poise has the pulse pile up. This could be a juicy opportunity, throws it out, gets him! Actually got down, that didn't look like it was gonna connect. NRG bring it back the other way and still maintaining control at this point.
And Bioweek threw everything into that. We heard the hammer, we saw the whole hog and the sound barrier along with the coalescence, so now Bioweek, they're running on empty, while NRG are in a really great spot. Rob is about to have his Transcendence. That's going to buy them time for Stratus to build up another EMP up against the squad.
This is weird. They've swapped off of the quad tank to a triple tank, but they're now not running Winston. Usually you want to have a Winston with this. I understand that the idea is, okay, put Leffa on the Widowmaker, but you're without a Winston. Leffa just got stomped on. What are you going to do here? You have no ways of really effectively challenging stuff verticality. You have to hope that the other team just dives into you with Reckless Abandon, which they kind of did. Butcher died with Primal Rage, but this is awkward for bye week. You do need the Winston up at a minimum if you're going to be running this, and this is a weird comp late in the fight as NRG has almost brought this back.
Oh, Sheershoy dropping low, but he's got the Mega Health Pack to keep him topped off for now. They are going to back away, just try and buy some more time for Butcher to get back into this. And he's in the fight with Waifu once again with another two-man self-destruct.
Waifu being the anchor for bye week here. Bye week, though, they don't have control of the point. They're still having to rip this away from NRG, and they will do it bit by bit. Now, 88%, there's a chance to get back here for NRG, but it's not going to be all 6.
It's going to come down to Poise or Stratus just to try and get overtime ticking up. Smex delayed so far ahead, so NRG are going to have to try and fight this in a very staggered response. Now, Dell is trying to find anyone in the back line with the help of the rest of his takes. It's Poise there. He's able to keep this alive now. Overtime ticking away, but Waifu finds Rob. There it is. Dell finds the person he's looking for. It's Poise.
Looking real good for bye week here. We have Minish on the side. Whole Hog immediately canceled, but NRG now just staggering, hoping for a miracle at the last moment. Bye week can use the barrier just to be sure. Overtime ticks down, and NRG gonna lose Ruins here to a comp that historically has some issues on Ruins.
Yeah, you had mentioned not having that Winston. It's kind of important there, but you know, it's kind of awkward trying to run like double main tank, and so I guess they just decided we're going to keep the damage of Minish, and instead Lifa, he's going to be much more potent on that Tracer or the Widowmaker. The Widowmaker not so much, but once he swapped off to the Tracer, it helped. Now, as we move on to Well, though, we have some different looks coming out. It's still a triple tank so far for bye week. Shearshoy swapping over to the Theresa now. Wants to have that barrier up for Lifa, who's going over to that McCree, but historically, he hasn't had much success with it.
No, Lifa on the McCree has not been super great as a general rule, and I mean, usually it's because teams are really good at diving, but Poise has gotten picked off so many times that it leads in the question how effectively NRG can dive right now.
But will this composition be able to deal with Stratus? I mean, even if Poise goes down, Stratus is going to be in the air already with the splash damage. He's at 32% towards his ultimate charge now. Bye week, they're just trying their best to mitigate the damage by using the geography of the map, by using the architecture, using the roofs to make sure they're not getting splashed on down. But Shearshoy, he needs healing.
Meanwhile, as you point out, Stratus is holding up in the air. Nothing's really effective too much. Now, they lost Poise first again. Poise not respecting the Roadhog here. And look, you're not going to be able to win games of Overwatch without Tracer as Stratus gets ripped on down. This is problematic for NRG. You need a Tracer. You need a Tracer that stays alive and doesn't get picked off early. They're not getting that right now.
And we're used to Tracers having the ultimates first, maybe, of course, the Moira. But he's at 57%. He hasn't been able to find a window whatsoever. Bye week playing this really heavy Deathball style. And of course, having an Orisa along with the Diva there's a lot of mitigating factors for Poise to try and get any damage off. Stratus has been, though. So he has the barrage, and he's coming in over the top right now. We'll see if he can actually get this off safely. He's on top of Lifa. He actually connects with it. Picks up 2.
Excellent game sense by Stratus, and yet they're going to be rezzing up Lifa. Bye week not have it here yet. Poise blows himself up. That can't happen.
Oh, Minish just says, yeah, no, you're going to stick me. You're going to stick with this. He's able to take him out, but NRG have the rest of the follow-through. They will be able to take control of the point and win out that fight.
NRG still makes that fight their own. Pulse Bomb shenanigans notwithstanding, the tank line pulls on through, but Bye week's still in a good spot.
Bye week, as they come back into this, it's Dell who's got, of course, that Valkyrie. He's going to allow him to just maneuver around this battlefield, maybe even help him take out Stratus. They need some extra damage up against him because he's just been in the air. The only time they were able to take him out was when he grounds himself. So now they're pushing in.
They're on the way in. Minish looking for the early hook. Oh, Rob got taken down by the self-destruct on the other side. Hook not necessary, and you see the self-destruct go the other way, doesn't get anything. Bye week working at an edge. Now they get to put those meaty bodies on the point. Stratus is coming in from the side, but this is where taken down from afar. This is normally where a Tracer would be helping Stratus, but they haven't had that reliable pressure.
There were so many low targets there. If one more rocket or if Poise was able to follow up, it could have been a completely different case. But also, Waifu catching out Rob with that self-destruct made a huge difference because the damage-boosted rockets weren't there for Stratus. Either of those, any of those situations would have been NRG netting the team fight win. Instead, they lose. Bye week will flip it over. NRG only securing 66%. Bye week sitting pretty with 5 ultimates, 6 coming online now.
Bye week is in a phenomenal position right now. And NRG, they're the ones that have to make a move, but their characteristic dive timing is rough. Here comes a Deadeye. Oh, he could have gone Stratus, not quite. And yet, they're still totally okay. Boys moving in, about to get pulse bombs. Barrier in from NRG, diving in, looking for the opportunity, but they're not able to make things play, but that works! Stratus got Leafa, but is immediately taken down, so it's not quite enough. And even though Supercharger is out of it, oh my goodness, Rob, what are you doing? Rob
he tries to go for the res in between four people.
Absolutely not. That is not a res that's gonna work. Sorry, not a thing.
Yeah, Poise is still having difficulty trying to cut through this tank line as the Tracer now, and so bye week, they have a great opportunity to actually take their first map here in Contenders.
They are so close right now of not living up to their name. If this was a 4-0, this would be bye week. Of course, living up to their name in full, but if they're just able to take this map, that all goes away. They're still gonna get relegated, but they're catching NRG in the worst possible time right now. NRG cannot compensate, and Waifu got Butcher again. Waifu continues to play out of his mind, gets Butcher early, and bye week on the verge of this map. They're at 99% Jamerson. There comes the Coalescence out the other way. Spec's gonna get demeched. Leafa, plenty of room, and bye week is the miracle going to happen here. Leafa picks up another 3.
They've done
it's
it.
Happening.
Bye week have done it. They have broken the curse. May I not speak too early, but there it is with that final cleanup on Zafazix. Bye week get their first map on the board.
Woo. All right. Not actually a bye week.
I'm not going to say a word because there are still 3 more maps left, so we are just going to talk about the game. And yeah, so Shershoy and Minish showing up, looking good. Minish's Roadhog was devastating.
Yeah, Minish had a very good Roadhog play, although I think it's a little bit of both, whereas Hog was definitely on for the amount of hooks he was getting. But on the same note, a lot of those hooks were on Poise, who kind of made it easy for him. Tracer should not get picked off first 4 times in a row. It just shouldn't happen. So it was still very difficult for NRG, and they're clearly reeling from the loss of Damon right now.
Let's talk a little bit about Poise. What did you see right out of the gate? What were your first impressions, Jamerson?
He died. A lot.
Yeah.
3 times, I believe, in a row, where he was the first person to fall. And it might be like coordination issues, communication issues here. He had 1 stroke of brilliance on this map, but that was really it. He wasn't able to make much else done, especially when we got over to Well here. This was the only moment where he was able to impact the map. NRG just have not been able to work him into this match well.
And it calls into question how long NRG has actually had to work with Poise and scrims and otherwise. And to a degree, I mean, NRG is lucky here, right? If they do end up dropping the series because they are just having such issues working around Poise right now, they still have time to work to playoffs. This is still, like, they can't be changed seeding-wise. They weren't depending on winning this match, but the first impression there was very tough. Might be nerves, might be something else, but it is not a controversial opinion to say that Damon did a lot more work for NRG.
Yeah, and to the best of my knowledge, I believe this is like one of the first times we've seen him competing in almost 8 months now, so he has taken some time off. I'm not entirely too sure. Maybe he was playing in like the Challenger scenes or like Nexus Cup, but it's been a while since that roster of Kangdu Uncia did like dissolve itself and like change it up.
Now there is one other possibility here where we don't know if Poise is currently in Korea or not, but what if he's playing in Korea?
Yeah.
Doesn't have the best ISP, and that was on East. Well, we would be going the West, so if we suddenly see Poise just have this ridiculous turnaround, what we could surmise is that he's probably playing with over 180 ping, which is sort of the magic threshold for actually having your shots hit in Overwatch. So I am prepared for the perhaps magical turnabout of Poise here. It could happen.
Yeah, we also have some footage here. Now, this is a playback. This is Smex on D.Va. Walk us through a little bit about what we're looking at.
Well, this is where NRG, even though Poise died early, the tanks were able to roll on through and just seize the opportunity. But if we're talking about D.Va play, Waifu was where it was at. He had very good self-destructs, very good focus fire, and I think for a while he's been one of the strongest players on bye week, and perhaps here where you're not like under threat from a super fire tracer the way they normally are, Waifu had a very good game.
Yeah, also, like, just the composition that they were running, because they were running that triple tank composition with the Moira and a Lucio, those are two supports that don't have to rely upon a Diva to try and keep them safe, right? They have their own escape mechanisms, they have their own peel, so Waifu was able to open up a lot more, try to go a bit more aggressive, and especially punish the dives that were coming in. I mean, the enemy Winston was not having a good game whatsoever.
Well, and Waifu was also the only one really being able to kind of regulate what was going on with Stratus's Pharah, because that was a very impact player. NRG still lost the map, but it was not due at any part whatsoever to Stratus's Pharah.
No, and I mean, Stratus also wasn't getting the fall through, because normally it works as far as that you're not really doing all the work yourself. You're either finishing off kills that your Tracer has weakened, or you're weakening people for the Tracer to come around from the outskirts, and Stratus is like, I'm shooting rockets. Nothing is happening.
Yeah. All right, so we are heading into our next map. This is going to be Hollywood. Where do you guys see this kind of shaking out? Now, we have now gotten a chance to see Bi-Week with a steady roster. This is the first time, because they got Sugar Free, I think, in like week 2, and then lost them in week 3, and that's when they, went ahead and picked up Minish and
Leafa?
Leafa, yeah. There was a couple of roster swaps that you started kind of seeing hints of that, but last week we really started to see them kind of gel as a team. So we're going to roll into game, but let's take a look specifically at kind of what we can expect from this matchup, what we've seen already.
Well, NRG, you got a fist hitting directly for your metaphorical face.
And this is where we're not getting baited.
No.
We are comfortable saying Minish is going to go ahead and use this Doom Fist. And especially with Shearshoy on the Reinhardt, they're just going for the comfort picks. And why not? It's already working out for them. NRG right now still trying to work out this new system with Poise. And he is a point of weakness so far for NRG.
You know that image where you have Larry David just making the I don't know face? I'm looking at Poise Sombra right now, that same face. If you're having issues making things work on Tracer, getting really good things working in Sombra might be pretty hard. Either way, I'm ready to see the glory of Doomfist Bi-Week on the move.
But we have to remember, Smex is on the Roadhog, and he has some great performances so far with it. Well, NRG, they're running a really stationary composition. They have a lot of power behind it. They're on the high ground now. The halt will go ahead and put a stop to a lot of the members. But Minish is just looking for his moment to go in, but Stratus has already taken out Dell.
Dell's out of the fight early, but there's still room for someone to get knocked into a brawl in the cafe. Oh, a charge from downtown. Joshua got Specs, and Bi-Week making their presence known. Stratus is doing his best to bring it back, and actually still might. Ends up with 3 before it's all said and done. And the Tire, a first fight Tire picks on 2. Stratus is back as strong.
Oh, but look at Leafa. He might actually get the Mercy. Will take her down. So there is a moment for Bi-Week to try and regroup as 5 and come back in. Not if Dell falls, though. Dell has to get out of there.
NRG able to restabilize, and they're lucky to a degree as they don't even give up a full tick. That's actually going to go back the other way if they can just get a few more kills. So Bi-Week not even able to get that here as the reinforcements continue to stream in from NRG. Stratus is back in the building, and Bi-Week might have to reset.
Yeah, great retake coming out from NRG, and it was off the back of, well, it looked like misprioritization of the Coalescence target. Shearshoy was starting to swing onto the members of NRG, but he got taken out quickly. And so if they had just been able to keep him up, if Pizza Demon had just kept him topped off, he might have had that shatter, would have been able to connect onto the NRG members. But now NRG, they've restabilized, they haven't given up a tick. And NRG, they've got 4 ultimates to work with. Here comes another Tire. No, never mind. I thought I heard Tire.
I mean, everyone just looks at it as like, is that fire in the hole? No. Not quite. Bi-Week, though, looking for their way in. NRG very, very stacked on ultimates here in this fight. Bi-Week really biding their time right now. Maybe they're just waiting for self-destruct. I don't know, but they're about to lose one. Junkrat super low on the outskirts. Oh, Mercy got active, not getting away now. Dell immediately take it down, and Stratus gets to work once more.
Was there a new buff? Is Sombra allowed to just fire while she's still stealth there? Because she was able to take out 2 members down to about 10 HP by himself with no one even looking his way. You can't allow that to happen if you're Bi-Week.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much of this is Poise being better and the other half just being like, ignore the Sombra. a bold plan.
Well, they do have to worry about Stratus, who is just laying it on thick up against them now. Minish has now swapped off. He's going over to the Zarya here. They're going to try and get that Graviton Surge up, but they only have a minute and 15 seconds to do it. That's not
They're going to get EMP'd. Poise is in a great position. Drops EMP. Can't drop the hammer now. Tire up from Stratus in case it's needed, but the EMP lets Smex go hog wild. Rolling through. 4 kills from Smex, carving his way through bye week.
And this was a worry, right? Bye week playing into Smex's Roadhog. We know how potent it can be, and now they know firsthand. And with bye week making these swap offs, I don't know if they're going to have really any impactful ultimates. They're going to have to rely upon Shearshow, who's been holding on to this Earth Shatter. Hasn't found prime targets for it because NRG have been playing here on the high ground.
NRG's in a really good spot. They still have Transcendence. Rob under pressure, uses it, and there's the tire, runs over 2 in broad daylight. But Waifu got 2 on the other end. Every time bye week needs a play, Waifu is there. Oh my word. Leffa gonna get the cleanup right after, and guess what? This little might be moving after all.
They have a window, but it looks like they are just gonna go ahead and back away. So best Waifu keeps it alive for bye week. They're going to be able to move forward, not get held here on point A, but they did lose a lot of time, and they're still struggling to get their tank ultimates online. Take a look. Minish, he's been on the Zarya for almost a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes, and he's only at 48% towards that first Graviton Surge.
Bye week still steadfastly staying with the Reinhardt. Now this is a bold choice to go through Hollywood second and go, Winston? We don't need this hero. We just need a bold German man with a hammer.
Oh, and they give up the high ground to NRG straight into an Earth Shatter, but the follow-up isn't there. Leffa, though, swapping over to that Widowmaker, and he reloads when the res goes off. Fast.
Widow? Widow, please? How? What?
Oh.
Leafa
that was like the worst timing for Leafa to reload.
Oh, my goodness. Reload or no, that, oh boy. The level of disrespect from just like, yeah, I'm just gonna res, screw it.
All right, Supercharger is gonna be used by Butcher now. So, we do have the members of bye week backing away, giving it respect, but Poise, he's looking. He's got that EMP ready.
And Poise has been doing better this round. Tire up from Stratus, and every tire from Stratus has been deadly. To the back, early Widow, why not? Good enough. Meanwhile, Poise gonna get back on the Shearshow. Can't hold up the shield quite anymore. Not going to fish off the kill, but Poise can set for a good EMP as only a minute remains.
This is still interesting that they're not going for that Winston. They need the extra high ground control. That's what's allowing Stratus to just stay up here. There's no pressure really onto Phosix or Stratus, so they could just keep laying down these damage-boosting grenades. They're going to coalesce into this fight early, but the hold puts a stop to that push.
Early Coalescence coming out. Phosix down immediately. Stratus nowhere close to a team fight saving Riptire. Now it's to dodge Leafa on all ends. Pizza even ends up falling before Waifu steps out, so this is still winnable to a degree. But when you have Leafa and Waifu unchecked on the top, it's going to be very hard for NRG to somehow find a way back into this. Theresa way out of there. That's going to be bye week, getting a little bit further here in point B.
Yeah, they throw everything that they had. Luckily for them, they're going to have, of course, that Earth Shatter hopefully up for Shearshow. If Minish can buy enough time,
what?
Whole hog,
what?
Waifu takes out Poise. Oh no.
That was feeding. That was just pure on feed the hungry. No reason to get picked off there as Sombra. Now NRG's in a much tougher position as they're down 1, but the self-destruct does demech Waifu, gets rid of the threat, and fire in the hole. Stratus might be the savior once more. Decides the Widow's gone no matter what. Get Shearshoy! A tire to the head. Overtime's trying to dip down, and Minish just better be the best flank of all time. You versus the world, and no, he's dead.
He has no clue where he's at that point. I mean, he gets hacked, he gets moved around, and so NRG will put a stop to bye week here. Luckily for bye week, you know, at least they were able to take point A, did not get full held, and so we'll see if they can recreate some kind of similar hold on their defense. See what kind of look they decide to pull out. There's a lot of swaps coming out from bye week there because
yes,
at that point,
yes,
he's gonna do it.
Do it. I don't want to hear a reason not to do it. In fact, turn it to a Symmetra. Dare you?
Just double down, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we've seen it before. No, wait, not here on Hollywood. Where
I think we've seen it before in Hollywood.
Yeah, the Symmetra?
No, not the Symmetra.
The Torbjorn, yeah.
Yeah.
The Torbjorn Theresa. I think it made its like debut here on Hollywood.
Yeah, let's go.
You think it goes on the elevator, or did he try to keep it like in the corner by security? Where do you think they put it?
I'm trying to remember. I think he did put it in the elevator.
On the elevator?
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm just happy. Bring out Torbjorn.
So is it just Symmetra now who hasn't seen any play at all?
Yes.
Okay.
No one loves
it. It's like World Cup again, all over again.
Steve-O is not yet in Contenders. Someday. Someday.
So now, NRG, they need to tie this up by week. Remember, they got their first map in all of Contenders in their final series up against NRG. Torbjorn building up his turret. It looks like it's going to be, behind by the dumpster. Surprising they put it right next to the dumpster.
Yeah, put Torbjorn in the dumpster. Place he's never been before, clearly. Why would you ever put such an incredibly meta-defining hero next to a dumpster, Jamerson? I don't understand.
Take a look at how much they're actually investing into it also, because they've got Shearshoy on the Reinhardt and Waifu also on the Orisa. So there's just shields for days. So they're worried that maybe Stratus goes on to the Pharah or the Junkrat. They're going to have a lot of shields to try and back that up. NRG are now going to go for this Slambulance. They've got triple tank with Stratus on the Junkrat. Why not? He did so much work on their defense.
Hey, look, Stratus might have a weakness to the dumpsters. Junkrat hangs around the dumpster, finds a turret. We're like next level meta, right? Oh, no. Is Torbjorn dead? Yeah, he's gone. He's already gone. NRG off the hook from Specs, making their way onto the point. Turret get lit. Nope, the turret is also dead.
Yeah, I mean, it's Specs. It's
also
He's like, I'm
dead.
going to eat this up.
Oh, no, Stratus doing anything he wants here. The Torbjorn dream is falling apart as we speak because of the large, beefy scrap cannon of Specs.
Oh!
Hey,
big Earth Shatter.
All right.
What? Will they be able to fight back into this? Bozix is still alive with the Moira now, as we have Lifa on the Soldier 76. Oh, will get cleaned up by Bozix, and so NRG, despite that Earth Shatter, will be able to keep this alive, take point A. Now we are moving on to B.
So disappointed. You could have stayed on that Torbjorn. You could have been nano boosted by an Ana. You could have just been next level Mangachu. Decide against us. They were so disappointed. But NRG, they're in a great position here. They only have to get through the midway point of point B, and they have a Riptire at the ready.
This is such an awkward Ana to be playing also, because Pizza Demon does have that Nano boost. Who does go on to? It doesn't matter. Waifu's there. He cleans up Butcher. Now they're on the hunt for more, as Bozix has fallen himself. So now they are forcing back the members of NRG, and they need to be able to do this time.
Look at how deep this is pure Shearshoy. Go in deep. You think Fraggy is the most aggressive Reinhardt in the game? Shearshoy doesn't actually have a back button.
Yeah, you have to remember, Shearshoy used his Earth Shatter in defense of A. It didn't get anything off of it, and he had to reset. He's already got another Earth Shatter.
All right, let's see it. Bring the hammer down. That's what he's going to be looking for. Lifa already down, fire in the hole once more. Stratus, his tire's been a killer. They're down Rob, and no hammer down, just a Reinhardt. Tire gonna find him in the moment. Byweek's still doing a reasonable job at delaying this. You have Minish now. Widow on top, not gonna be able to finish the pick, and it's a Stratus, man, making room on the choke point, using the Junkrat, even on Hollywood second. Let's go let NRG get through.
Yep, but NRG, they were stopped, of course, just outside the gate, so Byweek will have time to regroup as a full 6-man. Minish!
Oh.
Barely survives. Again, Shearshoy, use another Earth Shatter. He's at 25%. He's gonna be able to build up another one. We'll see.
50%.
He has no fear whatsoever.
Whole hog.
Earth Shatter got blocked. Whole hog though hasn't, and now he finds the head of Pizza Demon, taking him out. We do have the Sound Barriers coming out, and it's Butcher that connects with that Earth Shatter, lays them all on their back. Minish trying his best to bring this back, but he's only found two so far. Now here it is. The Riptire comes on in. Will he find anything off
to the spawn? We go to the spawn. We get Moira just for good measure. 3:22 left on the clock. NRG working with the Shearshoy. Had deep. Can one Reinhardt go? He's going even deeper. Boys pushes him further back. But NRG Esports, NRG, gonna get through. Taking map number 2, and we do have ourselves a series.
We saw Stratus on Junkrat there just kind of laying out, and starting on first round too, where they took the high ground. Why do you think Byweek didn't set up on high ground? Like, they had Torbjorn, they had Orisa. That's kind of a high ground combo.
Well, the way they were running it, they were running that double main tank style where they had the Orisa and the Reinhardt, so they needed to make sure that the turret was in a... I don't know why I'm trying to defend.
Why are you applying logic to this situation? Look, Torbjorn turrets shoot more accurately when the team behind them are not cowards. Well, at least that's the reasoning. Like, I want some sort of reasoning like that. I'm not, like, okay, Torbjorn defense, whatever.
It's double main tank shield. They need to make sure that either tank can get to it easily. If you put it on the high ground, then of course that means the Reinhardt has to run into Cafe. That means he's not there blocking damage with his big 2,000 HP shield. But ultimately, it was not a composition. You run into someone like Stratus that you know he's going to probably, if not run the Pharah, he's going to run the Junkrat instead. And those shields don't mean anything.
Yeah, man, Stratus just went through. We do have some playback. This is a different Roadhog this time. It's Smex on Roadhog putting in the work, and he made Whole Hog work for him. This was not the only Whole Hog that worked for him either. This was just the clip we grabbed. We had him taking down a diva completely by himself. He got her pinned into a corner. He had the Coalescence backup. Smex was just running shop.
Yeah, it was a really good setup for him too there, where Poise did land a good EMP, got most of the people in it, and then it's like, wait, how do you get away from a Whole Hog if you don't have movement abilities, you can't throw a defensive matrix in his face? Well, you probably just die. Now, other people are getting damaged in the middle of that, because normally Whole Hog alone will just push people away, but in the end, good highlight for Smex.
Alrighty, we are going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we will see if we can get Bye-Week back on the board. They've got their first win of the series, so stay tuned and fingers crossed.